Today we're taking a look at Dark Shadows, the 2012 Gothic comedy horror film directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp. Based on the cult classic television soap opera from the 1960s, Dark Shadows is a unique blend of supernatural fantasy, comedy, romance, and Gothic horror. The story follows Barnabas Collins, played by Johnny Depp, a wealthy young aristocrat living in the 18th century. After breaking the heart of a powerful witch named Angelique Bouchard, Barnabas is cursed and transformed into a vampire. Angelique then buries him alive for nearly 200 years. Fast forward to 1972, Barnabas is accidentally freed from his coffin and returns to find his once great family in decline. Determined to restore the Collins family fortune and reputation, he must adapt to the modern world while confronting Angelique, who is still alive and more dangerous than ever. At the center of the film is Barnabas Collins, and Johnny Depp fully embraces the character's fish-out-of-water nature. Barnabas is both tragic and hilarious. His old-fashioned manners and inability to understand the 1970s create many of the film's funniest moments. Despite being a vampire, he's surprisingly sympathetic, and his desire to save his family gives the story an emotional anchor. The Collins family themselves are an eccentric collection of characters. Michelle Pfeiffer brings elegance and warmth to Elizabeth Collins' Stoddard, while Chloë Grace Moretz, Gulliver McGrath, and Helena Bonham Carter each contribute to the family's quirky dynamic. While not every family member receives equal development, they collectively create the dysfunctional atmosphere that Burton clearly enjoys exploring. Eva Green absolutely steals the movie as Angelique Bouchard. She's seductive, ruthless, funny, and completely unpredictable. Rather than portraying a typical evil witch, Green gives Angelique layers of obsession, heartbreak, jealousy, and rage. Her chemistry with Johnny Depp drives much of the film. Even when the story loses focus, Angelique remains fascinating to watch. In many ways, she's the strongest character in the entire movie and arguably delivers the film's best performance. The premise is incredibly promising. A vampire from the 1700s adjusting to life in the 1970s while trying to rebuild his family legacy is a fantastic setup. However, the film struggles to balance its various storylines. There are family dramas, romantic conflicts, supernatural mysteries, werewolves, ghosts, witches, and vampire lore all competing for screen time. As a result, the narrative occasionally feels overcrowded and unfocused. The first half is generally stronger than the second. The culture clash comedy works well, but the film becomes increasingly chaotic as it approaches its climax. The screenplay delivers some genuinely funny moments, especially through Barnabas's formal speech patterns and misunderstandings of modern society. Many of the best lines come from Depp reacting to ordinary 1970s culture, as if it's some bizarre new civilization. The script is at its strongest when it leans into this comedy. That said, some dialogue feels uneven, and certain supporting characters are given intriguing setups without meaningful payoffs. The script often introduces ideas that it doesn't fully explore. Johnny Depp delivers exactly the kind of performance audiences expect from his collaborations with Tim Burton. He's eccentric, committed, and entertaining throughout. While the role isn't among his very best, he remains highly watchable. Eva Green is the standout performer. She brings energy and intensity to every scene and often elevates the material beyond what's on the page. Michelle Pfeiffer adds credibility and emotional grounding, while Helena Bonham Carter provides her usual eccentric charm. The cast as a whole appears to be having a great deal of fun, and that enthusiasm is infectious. One of the film's biggest strengths is its visual style and atmosphere. Burton creates a beautifully Gothic world filled with dark mansions, fog-covered landscapes, candlelit interiors, and supernatural imagery. The movie leans far more into comedy than horror. There are horror elements, including vampires, witches, blood, and monsters, but genuine scares are rare. Instead, the film uses these elements as vehicles for dark humor. When compared to Tim Burton's greatest works such as Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, Batman Returns, Ed Wood, and Corpse Bride, Dark Shadows falls somewhere in the middle tier of his filmography. It contains many classic Burton trademarks, such as Gothic visuals, outsider protagonists, dark humor, eccentric supporting characters, themes of loneliness and belonging. However, it lacks the emotional depth and narrative focus that elevate Burton's best films. While visually impressive, it never quite reaches the creative heights of his classics. Still, it's far more entertaining than some of Burton's weaker efforts and remains a fun showcase of his distinctive style. So what's our final verdict? Dark Shadows is an enjoyable but flawed Gothic comedy that succeeds more through its performances, atmosphere, and humor than through its storytelling. Johnny Depp is entertaining, Eva Green is sensational, and Tim Burton's visual style is on full display. If you're a fan of Tim Burton, Gothic aesthetics, supernatural comedy, or Johnny Depp and Eva Green, there's plenty here to enjoy. While it isn't one of Burton's masterpieces, it's an entertaining and visually striking film that has developed something of a cult following over the years. What did you think of Dark Shadows? Did you enjoy its mix of comedy and horror, or do you think it missed its potential? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.